to give this talk. Abdullah is not here. This was actually the guy that invited me to talk to you today. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity, even that we are not that numerous. It's always nice to get to know people and hey, hero, and to network, right? And when Abdullah asked me to give this talk, I was feeling really proud of this, that he asked me to do this, because I felt, wow, my pictures got recognized by someone, so it means they must be probably really good, and I was totally excited about it. But then when I was started thinking what I should actually talk about, I thought, okay, I cannot just talk how awesome my pictures are, right? Because photographs anyway should speak for themselves, and I don't want to talk about them, right? I just show them to you. And the second thing is that actually I don't think that I reached with my photography an end point in the excellence level of taking pictures, right? So in fact, for me, photography is a process that one is learning for the whole life when one likes doing it. And today, that's why today I decided actually to say about my story, how I reached the point where I am now in photography, how I learned it myself. So that's why this title, Rediscovering the Art of Seeing, but in a way rediscovering oneself and one's own passion that I was not aware of for a long time. And hopefully I could get a little bit of inspiring for you and encourage you to always keep the mind open for new things and never stop exploring, and because some interesting stuff may come out. So how did it start? In my childhood, I was not aware of the fact that I love taking pictures, and it took me roughly 23 years to figure this out, but you can tell from my facial expression that I always used to have a very analytical mind, and that's why later in my life I decided to study scientific direction, biotechnology at the University of Łódź in Poland. So I decided to become a scientist. And you stole my line, which I wanted to say, that actually one could think science and photography have nothing in common, right? But actually, thanks to science, I discovered my passion towards photography. And why am I showing this picture? It's not accidental. It was taken by my father, who was passionate about photography himself. And he was recording our life of our family very, very passionately and developing pictures himself. And he was actually quite good in it, but apart from teaching me how to hold the camera and press the shutter button, he didn't really awake this passion in me. It came, as I said before, in roughly 23 years later, when I moved to Chicago to do my master's project at the University of Chicago in US, and there I worked on the brain cancer cells, and this was the first time that I came in touch with microscopy. And with microscopy, I got extremely excited how much detail one can extract from the life, and how close one can get to things, and how abstract they get the closer one gets. So I had this snapshot camera at the time, and I was spending basically then every free moment after work somewhere in the garden or some bushes, wherever, like in trance, photographing everything, every small thing that came into my eye. And I was photographing everything ranging from bugs, dew droplets, or leaves, or flowers, and I was really amazed how what a new world of motifs the macro photography opened in front of my eye. But in a way, I quickly noticed that this snapshot camera, also known commonly as an idiot camera, has its constraints, so one cannot really control so well the depth of the field, okay? So I started upgrading my photo gear slowly, and I first bought this amateur Nikon digital SLR camera, and then in the end I got this professional full format Nikon camera. And I won't go into details into technicalities of this camera, but two major things that they influence was that I can now print out pictures in a billboard size formats, okay, and the quality of pictures of printouts improved, and I also have to carry around much more in terms of kilograms because they are really heavy. But did it really influence the way of taking the pictures? Not really. I mean, the thing that that actually did, or the person that did influence my way of taking photographs was actually this guy, and this person in my life was like a turning point in my photography, and his name is Shahir Rizk. He was my supervisor at the University of Chicago of my master project, and he quickly recognized my creative eye towards photography in my pictures of bugs and droplets of dew and so on. And he kept encouraging me, and I feel really, really appreciative to him for this. And then one day he came to me and he gave me those two books as a gift about Ansel Adams photographs about whom I never heard before. And this guy is like a father of black and white photography. And throughout his lifetime, he took pictures of American landscapes in black and white with really great sharpness, and this is like my my most favorite photograph of him, and taken by him. And you know, whenever you find something inspiring and when you're taking pictures, it's really nice or good to ask oneself in order to find some new directions for your own, to ask oneself why the things are inspiring for me, why the pictures that I look at exert such a strong effect on my mind. And I asked myself, and I discovered that I simply love black and white photography, how one reduces the world of motifs to black and white tones, and that I love the deep shadows, that I love strong contrasts, and that I love the sharpness on the pictures, the richness of the details. So actually, since then I got those books and got excited about these photographs. There was like no way back for me to but to take pictures in black and white suddenly. So I just forgot about the colors for a long time. And in the meantime, I actually moved to Switzerland to do my PhD, as it was said, in biology at ETH Hungerberg. And you know, PhD is very time-consuming, but you also need some things to you know, escape from the laboratory. And I continued searching for new black and white photographers, continued exploring new directions, getting lost, and then rediscovering the new ones, and kept buying these books of those black and white photographers. And one day I came across this guy. His name is Brett Weston, and he's like a photographic giant, really, and himself, he's a son of even bigger photographic giant, Edward Weston. And when I came across his photographs, I felt almost like I was enlightened, you know, with a new direction. I just loved how he's eliminating in his photos the context, you know, and this way he kind of invites the abstraction into his photographs. So I find his photographs really timeless because they lack this context, and I realized that I feel it, so it's like my new direction, and the abstract, and now I don't take out my camera when I don't pre-visualize something abstract about the things surrounding me, and through, like, so now we are coming to my photographs. So through like unconventional angles of viewing, or through the play between the shadow and the light, or by messing up with perspective, I try to extract the abstract dimension of the motifs that are actually very close to us, in the closest vicinity in everyday life, and that we take for granted. But I try to extract this abstract dimension and beauty out of them, and just to show that this beauty lies very close to us, is at the reach of our hand. And I do it with anything, whether it's a fork, spoon, or table and chair, or a branch of tree, or just tree in general, or even on your plate when you are eating here mixture of milk and vinegar. So I hope to continue this direction in abstract photography, and I'm sorry I cannot show you more of the pictures. I wish, but we are time constrained. But you can obviously get a track of me with my website. There are some technical problems right now, but it will be solved soon, I hope, or with my Facebook account, so that we keep in touch about my possible new exhibitions or projects. And I'm also happy if you contact me or you have similar ideas, that we kind of exchange those ideas, and yeah, stay creative. So thanks for your attention. And yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Do you consider this actually only as a hobby, or do you want to marketize these photographs? Is there a market? What is your opinion on that?
Yes, I mean, people are but my photographs, but I mean, it's not something that I can earn money from right now. That's why it's good that I have this scientific background, so I don't have to struggle, oh, I have to take this picture because otherwise I will not have anything to eat for another month. So then I have free mind to take more, to take photographs, and I don't have to feel this pressure. But so I don't want to make it a business. I don't want to become professional or commercial, because I want to have a freedom of doing whatever I want. And then if people like it, buy it, fine. But yeah, so I do this, but yeah.
But if you just did that, would it be able to live on that, or?
I don't think so, no. I would have to probably put more energy into it, into advertising and so on, but it's difficult because the world is overloaded with, with things, and it's also, I think, hard to find people that like what you like, right? I mean, we are really over-flooded with, things, so. I don't know. I hope, but it's probably not that I want to. Yeah.
So you asked yourself why you love pictures, and the answer was because they are like these photographs, black and white, because there are contrasts and stuff. But it only pushes the question a little further. It's not an answer to the question why you love picture. Why our brain loves this geometry, this contrast? Have you thought about it? Like why we should crop the picture like this here to make the center correct, or?
If I understood correctly, I don't know, but so first I got to love black and white and so on, and then, right now I really focus on abstract things, and I don't know, there is this...
Yeah, but no, abstract.
You can recognize...
And the question is, why so abstract?
It's pleasant.
Geometry is pleasant, and what the other is not.
I don't know, I mean, you have to find...
Because the pictures, for me, the pictures usually tell a story, and in this geometry, it's kind of, you can find your brain kind of search a pattern, and it kind of fits the story. Oh, this is nice. I think this is because there's no other context to it. I guess this
I think the abstract photography is nice because you don't have those imposed interpretations, right? I mean, you can like really unleash your sense of imagination and create your own visions. And then, you know, whenever I see something abstract, a picture or painting, and I come back to it, I feel different things or I see different things every time. And I love this freedom of creating my own visions. And that's why I find it so appealing. Whereas things that are having a context are, I think there is not so much freedom for interpretation or for, you know.
But if I slap a line on some canvas, so you wouldn't say it's nice, although it's very open to interpretation here. And
it depends how this line is slapped, I would say, you know, it's very, very subjective, of course.
We have the context. Context is important. Like black square on the white background or whatever the famous picture is. It's famous because it was the first like this, and there is nothing else like this. And now I do the same. It wouldn't be art anymore. Well, it wouldn't. It would still be maybe art, but it wouldn't be interesting.
Well, I think it's a very delicate discussion. What is abstract and what is art, right? So, I mean, we can push it forever. Yeah. I mean, in a way, in my pictures, I show things that are still recognizable, but I like to kind of point to some abstract connections, right? So I'm not doing just square. Yeah. For me, the lack of context is timeless, so I'm more for that.
Experience with biological microscopy influence your view on maybe like everyday objects? Maybe also the other background, how does your view of like abstract things influence the way you do biology?
It's such a difficult question. I mean, I'm for sure getting inspired back and forth, right? And I also spend a lot of time under microscope that doing things that I shouldn't do. Please don't record that. But yeah, I mean, I cannot answer really this question because it's just so abstract. But for sure, this influences. For sure, I mean, I discovered with microscopy, obviously, the detail, right? And but I don't think I can kind of answer because it's like about feelings, kind of how you feel this, and yeah, there's no like solid answer. Sorry.
Compared to paintings, painting you have a better chance to express, and then more like creative than your design and your drawings. But pictures, rather you have to sudden moment you're taking pictures. So what kind of creativity can be involved in your pictures?
I mean, with paintings, you create something from scratch, right? So you have a blank canvas and you have to, you know, create something from scratch. And one can kind of discuss what is more difficult, taking a painting or a photograph. I don't want to go into this because it may be a hot discussion, but with pictures, you have the whole world, you know, and, you know, you have to actually eliminate all the junk, right? And just, you know, take out this interesting motif, and I think it's not so easy, you know, because when we look, we more or less see with the same way everything, right? With a camera, well, actually, the other way around, we focus when we look on things, and the whole other world is disappearing, let's say, right, when we look at things. But with camera, you kind of look through the camera sees everything equally, right? And then you kind of have to play with this camera to focus on one thing and to bring in the effects that you want. I don't think I think it's not very easy, right? So what was the question, actually?
The pictures really like focus on the fact, and the paintings really are.
I mean, with paintings you create. With photographs, you have to extract what you want. You have to kind of really eliminate a lot of junk surrounding the stuff you want to take. And also what makes unique in photography, I mean, every moment is unique and is different depending on different light, depending on your mood, depending on your, how you feel and so on. So I think it gets very unique. It is just people regard it as less valuable because it's just clicking a shutter button. But this previsualization process also behind it is very complex, I think, and it's also very unique.
About taking black and white pictures for a long period of time, do you think it has any effect on your personality or
Are you asking me a private question if I'm depressed? Well, does it have an effect of my personality, or the black and white photography is an effect of my personality? What was the question?
It was more like first, but if you want, you can also answer the second.
No, I mean, as I said before, it how I feel and in what mood I am for sure influences the way I take pictures. But actually, when I feel depressed, it's not really good time for me to take pictures because I feel then down and I don't have a clear mindset to kind of open my chakras and let myself get influenced by some motives, So actually, the better mood I am, the better pictures are. And the more freedom also I have in doing that, like nobody's like herring me up, hey, I don't want to wait, then the better it comes. And what was the other one?
Because they're all black and white. And
Yeah, but I'm not depressed. I mean, it's not the reason that I take, black and white photos. Someone told me once something which is, I think, very valid, that, we see everything in colors. So it's so familiar, right? Because most of the time we see these colors. And I think, it's kind of nice to see how things are looking in black and white because we don't see this every day. So.
And it helps to remove the context.
Yes, for sure. But I also love a lot, abstract color photography or paintings. It doesn't mean that I don't like colors, and sometimes I'm even tempted to take pictures in colors. But so I also enjoy other people's artwork in colors. But myself, black and white. Or gray. Okay?